I think I read a thing the other day. Actually, it said something about how like the percentage of Americans that think we're on the brink of a civil war, and it was actually it was pretty high, surprisingly. I forget what the number was. I have to double check it, but I know it was very high. I was like, damn, really? Because I actually thought that myself. I'm like, damn, this is gonna be a civil war, you know. People are going nuts. People are losing their jobs. People are gonna be losing their fucking houses. You know what that means? People are gonna lose their fucking minds. Everybody's gonna start attacking each other. You know, shit's gonna be crazy.
So yeah, funny that you say that too. Like the time period right now. Funny too is that we've been at war for quite a long time now. It's been a psychological war. It's been a war on consciousness. So they're trying to keep suppressing our minds,
Yeah. How
and
long do you think that's been going on,
and
man?
everything. Everything happens like that for a reason too. With like whole pandemic thing. The nice thing about that had people had time to everything that was ordinary life for them was going and going. Everything came to a stop. That all the time was like spending time with themselves, their family, the kids, the environment, and then kind of like just by doing that, like slowing their own minds, that they're able to stop their talking, all the static, and they're able
Hmm.
to take in the slow frequency of like the actual consciousness itself of like what's going on, like not
Yeah.
not being your own mind but letting the outside kind of speak to you, as in like with nature. And
You kind of have to let it speak to you, I guess, because
exactly.
you can either, it just depends on the person. Like, what do they say about like being hypnosis? If you can only be hypnotized if you believe in it. If you don't believe in it, you can't be hypnotized. Like, if you ever heard that?
I might have heard something similar.
So when the guy explained it, he said you have to keep telling yourself you believe this is real. Like, you believe this, and if you don't believe in it, it's not they won't be able to hypnotize you. It's kind of a weird shit. It's
So
weird shit.
yeah, you saying that's literally what they had time to do. They had time to ask themselves, is this real, is this not, like which side is it, like
Yeah, people are like, oh, it's so much easier to say, it's just fake. That's just fake.
uh-huh.
That's so easy, but if you don't look into it, and it's the way they're covering shit up, like.
So yeah, so like with everything going on and us kind of just tapping into the next density too, like as a consciousness, it's almost like the battle between the good and the bad, and like us like kind of realizing all the bullshit that's going on, because more people are
Damn.
awake and more people are rioting to the, to big tech, to like everything, just when they're realizing that.
Damn, man.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, that's why I'm so for it too, just because of like we're not taking shit from nobody anymore, because we realize like we the people have the power, but we've been letting them govern over us. But that's the thing. Like that's what I'm so on for this too, because
Damn.
I want to like once I start fully educating myself on it, then I can continue like to like fully speak on it, and then hopefully like start to wake people up, because that's what Malcolm X was doing. That's what Martin Luther King were
Do
doing
you
back
think that
then.
helped them a lot?
Absolutely, because
Oh
of
my
like
god.
everybody, like they were true to themselves, and then they realized that so much depression was going on,
Uh huh.
but it was also because of people were blindly accepting what they were given. They weren't questioning everything, and they were like just it's just like sign here, okay. They signed it without reading all the fucking
Yeah.
agreements.
Yeah, yeah. Because nobody's gonna sit there.
No, they'd rather fucking
They know,
do
they
than
just want to
think.
get what they want. You know what I mean? And that's it. Like, sign it, whatever it is. They
So
don't
yes,
even read
so
it.
and what he was doing, he was telling people that like especially like Malcolm, what he was saying, like the rock landed on us, like we didn't land on it. So like we were like the special ones. So special that like, people, we have the power, and then how we're gonna let some outside thing come in and try to like regulate us and everything. But once people realize like to take action for them, and like that's what a lot of people are doing. Like we're going against like the like state and stuff like that when it comes to like overruling and lawing, and that's why everything it's almost like it's just shaking, like it's at the verge of like possibly a civil war, or possibly something
Damn.
happening.
Yeah, because everybody's on edge. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, like so it's crazy to me too. But when that's looking at the big scale. But when I look at it at a smaller scale, like I guess I don't really see that within. This is very local too, though. But
Yeah,
but
like,
there what's going on as a whole.
well, you seen what happened up there on the highway, right?
Well,
Um, just the other day, actually right up the street,
uh-huh.
about 10 minutes from here, 10-15 minutes from
What,
here,
Yorksville or what?
Strasburg.
Oh, oh.
Lady pulled over and just shot herself,
Was it
or
about
I guess
suicide
killed
thing?
herself. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I heard a little very briefly about
I
it.
mean, there's just so much going on in the world. Like, even starting to be like local. Like, you've been seeing a lot of like police out. You've been seeing a lot of patrols, seeing like a
Oh yeah,
lot of crimes,
absolutely.
hearing a lot
Especially in
about crimes.
Ohio, you always see so
Yeah.
much going on.
Oh yeah, there's quite a bit. Especially in the bigger cities. But it just seems like even even around here, you see more and more and more. And it's like just crazy. You know what I mean? You don't feel like I feel like it hasn't been like that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially for you, somebody being of here, you get to see growing up. You get to see the progression
You
of
see
the
how
town and how much it changes, how big it gets, the community change.
like yeah, I don't feel like it's ever been like this much. Maybe I could be wrong,
Uh
but
huh.
it just seems
But
like
from
it's
your perception, yeah.
yeah more and more crime. It's like what the hell. Like I it used to be, like more up north, you would see like more
Ah,
crime and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But like around here, like down in here, it's not never been this much. I don't feel like, especially seeing like the police, more police, every year. More police. It's like damn. They're all nowadays. There's so many out too.
Oh yeah, no, especially it's always the end of the month. They're always so bad.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely, dude. Like I seen it. Like cause I'm like you. I'm so aware of like my surroundings, like what's going on. Like I keep almost like a little database in my mind of
Mhm.
like and you kind of see it inside internally. And I do the same thing with them. I don't focus on them like anymore like that, but I'm still kind of like wary of them, and especially like I noticed like from the 25th to like the first second, I see like a lot more. Usually, from my perception, I see a
Mhm.
lot more than I do between the rest of the month.
Yeah. Yeah. The cops. I don't know, man. I've heard like there's just so much more like going on. They need more patrol. They need more cops on duty. And they're like cutting funds for them. So people are they don't want to pay it. They don't want the cops getting paid. They're like so they're cutting back funds. And, they're losing stuff and so it's only time before the police aren't able to help you. And shit that's going on and they're not able to keep people under control. People start killing each other. Before you know it, it'll just spiral out of control. It'll get bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really gonna. I'm really wondering too what's gonna keep happening too. At the rate you're seeing everything kind of go, you don't know what's gonna happen.
It's definitely a crazy world for sure. And the mask too, like just everything with the fucking coronavirus. That's a bunch of bullshit. The whole goddamn virus. It's some made up bullshit. I can already tell you. It was made up by the goddamn governments, and the Illuminati. I'm pretty sure is in on this shit. So if I come up missing or dead next week, like you'd already know what happened. But hey, that's just my thought. Who am I?
um. So with the whole virus too, because like I always kind of been so worried of it too,
Uh
and then
huh.
like as I progress this too, as I progress myself, my own viewing and thinking, um, like I realize that it is like it is a virus, so it does kind of get people sick and get all the
Well,
symptoms,
yeah, for sure.
but the way that it was kind of on about it, because the whole union kind of came together like you were saying with other governments.
Yeah, yeah. Every single one. Like it wasn't like so different like across the board that it was believable. It's so not believable. It's not even funny. I mean, what kind of shit are they trying to play to us?
So yeah, so that's one thing, but another thing too is the people that are behind some of like the vaccine, some of like the fundings for it. You see certain people as such as like Bill Gates and Melinda
Yo, what the
Corporation.
fuck?
So like like kind of that's one other thing to add on to it. Another thing too is just like you see, especially like that's one thing, like controlling the people's perceptions, making it seem like it's way
Mhm.
worse when in reality too, like at the end of the day, it's still just like a harsher flu. That was another thing. Another thing too is now how bad they're pushing the vaccines, like they're mandating on everything, and
Yeah.
as it goes on, like I kept seeing different things. And I was talking to
S-
Victor about it. Like
Oh yeah.
there was this lady about this. Yeah, there was this lady. Um, because the CDC and then like the FDA, they were so bad on, especially when it was just kind of now, like they were so bad on controlling what was said. And if especially like Dr. Fauci leading
Oh
on,
yeah,
they kept
yeah.
going back and forth, and that motherfucker, he's an insider.
Oh yeah.
He's all
Full
for
blown
it.
insider. Yep.
I believe
Definitely.
that. I do believe that. But another thing too
Yeah. Who
is
the hell
that
is he? When the hell did you ever hear about him before the goddamn
because
coronavirus?
they said they had two labs near it, and you see Dr. Fauci, excuse me, being in both where it was originally coming from
Uh
too. So
huh.
you see him kind of being tied in somewhere or another. But no, but there was this lady that I was watching on YouTube. They had a
Uh-huh.
whole live stream. She was a she had a PhD, so she
Uh-huh.
was she was she had her background. She was working near side at one point with Dr. Fauci, and she called him out on it too. And she was saying how what they were doing with the numbers, what they were doing with the whole virus, and what happens next? YouTube bans her, takes her off.
Oh, I did see that. And the
Alex Jones
video
gets taken off. I might have even sent it to you guys during that
you
period.
did, and yeah, I think we actually had a recorded, re-recorded like video that somebody else
Oh, did
released.
it for it? Good.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of people saved it or
Good. Yeah.
downloaded
Mm-hmm.
whatever they did, so it still resurfaced the internet again.
So that was another thing for me that when I saw that I was like, oh fuck no, like that's it. Like they are full on trying to control. Like if you say anything against
Yeah,
what they're saying, oh
and
it's wrong.
how long after that did you hear about it? A
And
week?
yeah,
It was it.
and that's the problem with like big tech and like big pharma, like what they're doing. Like that's
People are
why they
getting
need to
their
be controlled with like the free speech doesn't apply to them. So like that at that point they're controlling what is being said, what is being done. So that actually does more harm than not, just because of like, oh, if they're doing that, then a lot of people are gonna realize like what's really going on. If
Yeah,
if
not
they're so
very.
worried about the truth, and let it speak for itself.
Man, that's just the fucking government, man. I can't stand them.
So that's the whole controlment of of that, how like that works. And that's what I worry about too, is just like how bad they're pushing for all this, like because they have an agenda that they're pushing for. So like everybody else kind of has their own thing they got going on. And it's just it sucks to see all the inside work that goes towards it and everything.
Well, you seen like other countries, where it's I think France is actually mandated it, like actually mandated it, for
As a
everybody.
national, yeah, as a whole country then.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure. They said it was mandatory. You had to take it, and everybody did. So it's like, I mean, I don't think they could do that here, but it's just scary. It's just a scary thought, because
Another thing
we're gonna
too, so
move
many
towards to be communism. It's gonna be
so
communist
many so
here,
many people are like blindly taking it too, based upon the fear that is put on by the media, but everything.
especially old people, dude.
Because that, yeah, I mean, yeah, like I mean, there's certain people like that could help them, like the older people, like yeah, like
They don't
because the virus
realize.
was mostly attacking elder people. So if they take that,
Yeah, they were the most scared, for the population probably because
and think about that too, like you saw like the elders getting taken out. And when you look at information, who has the most truthful information of
the older people, the older
exactly.
generation.
So there was this guy that I watched. He worked for the KGV. I can't remember what his name was. See, like I need Jamie. Jamie, pull that up. And he just pulls it up like in Joe Rogan. Yeah. So there's this video where he talks about, it only takes one generation for you to brainwash, a nation. I
Damn,
might have
yeah,
sent you
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Uh
I
huh.
was looking into that, and I was like, man.
Yeah, dude, and like hearing what he was saying, it's like a 5-step process. First
Oh, you
is
know how long it could take to backtrack? It could take a long time.
yeah,
More than our whole life. We'll never
because
see it.
you look at the last 200 years, and most people don't really realize what was going on, especially people like of color that are like so oppressed, like
Damn, like
because of
people are starting to realize
because of
shit.
fear. Yeah, because of fear. Either they're like their parents, grandparents, they didn't teach them, they didn't tell them, because of like how bad they got tormented because of it, or due to like ignorance, like do so many things, like they didn't want to share that knowledge. So by this time, people are because what we are a lost we're a sleeping civilization. We're like in a sense of like we're lost, like we don't know who we are, and we're just now starting to figure it out. So now that we're
Damn,
all figuring out who we are, we're finally taking that stand.
that's for sure.
If you look at us as a whole, and like that's another thing too, that like so much knowledge can be forgotten, so much knowledge can be lost, especially like with burning of like books, burning of information. So
Yeah.
and that's why it scares me with technology too, that like the way they're pushing like for mainstream technology, like media and stuff like that, the way they push things, it's almost like to keep you as a like program into like this little fake reality that they want to create, perceive, due to the overtaking of the most important thing, our consciousness.
Yeah, man, that's so true. Man, I was just thinking too, like, over time, over the years, like how they manipulate even, and how they change shit up, like, but you don't even realize it, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
over so many years, like all the laws change, and like just stuff passes that people don't even know about, and it's all
So
behind
so
your
much
back.
shit. Yeah, so much shady shit. That's why, like, I do respect certain governors or presidents that kind of they see that and they call certain people. I don't know,
Uh
like
huh.
thanks to certain people now well, they didn't really show shit, but there was files of I guess the Pentagon
Yep.
acknowledged the
The
uh
search for aliens, pretty
yeah,
much.
and then like
That was a real thing. They acknowledged that they
mhm,
were going to,
and they've been doing it for a while,
put money
yeah.
into it, and what they have been doing.
Yeah, I didn't tell a whole lot, but at least they acknowledge as a whole, because there was still that debate of like, is it real, is it not?
Yeah, yeah, and what was that like back? Was it 2008 when they actually
Like,
classified that there was actually a base at Area 51?
yeah, yeah.
Because
So you always
they
so
didn't
many years later.
acknowledge they didn't even acknowledge that there was a base there. They didn't never even said that there was for like how many years, you
For
know?
a long time, especially you have people like Bob Lazar and stuff like that
Hmm.
that came out and like spoken things, and like they kept called like crazy liars, and years later, oh, what was that? Oh, everything they said, like working as its base, working location, it all matches up. So they're like, oh, like damn. So now they get a chance to tell their story.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's up for debate. I mean, if you think Bob Lazar was actually working there, was that legit?
Yeah, yeah, no, I absolutely, yeah. They have a whole documentary on Netflix that kind of talks a little more into it.
Was that correct? I never knew that. I'll have to look
Yeah,
into
yeah.
that.
So what goes on too? I just watched a little bit of podcast with him recently too, again. But what he was talking about, like, even back then, like describing because what he worked on, the way he was describing everything, that it was like this base that for example, like this little saucer, it was never completed, like, and nobody ever had the parts all at once. It was all spread out, like someone had it here, someone had it here, someone had it here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So for him, what he got to work on was a reactor. He was trying to, like, what they were trying to do. They were trying to reverse
Damn.
engineering back in like the 60s.
Damn. So people weren't allowed to see these motherfuckers like
No,
together.
no, no. Like they would give him like a blueprint and tell him like what each part did what, but they weren't allowed to see it and be near it, all the parts at once. They were so
What the
strict.
hell?
Even though what he was talking about, he was like, which that made it hard for science, because yeah, you want you want to reverse engineer it, but if all the scientists, yeah, the scientists, they weren't allowed to talk to each other. Like if the boy that was working on the propeller, or what, not propeller, but somebody was working on the technology inside part versus
Yep.
somebody the reactor, they weren't allowed to communicate with each
Mhm.
other. So when you put that in a science experiment, it's harder because you're not allowed to communicate with the whole thing. So you gotta find a thing, you gotta wait for them, is it works or not. So they I guess they didn't. When he was working with them at that time, they didn't succeed, and he was kind of messing around, showing a couple people certain things like them flying and stuff like that. But no, the way he was talking, describing the reactor itself, like it matched up with like certain videos and certain things they would do and stuff like that. And
Really?
he was talking about a lot in depth how it worked, and then how he got caught. Because you have to agree to like not talk about it at all. And then
Really?
later on, he realized that they were like listened to all his conversations from his phone to his computer to
Mhm.
everything. And then that, like, because they found out like he told like and he was telling me too, like they were so secret. Not telling me, he was talking on there, saying how secretive they were with the whole base itself. Where like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he was telling me like he would, he didn't have like an actual schedule. Like like he was like, whenever they needed me, they call me. Usually it was like 2 to 3 days a week.
Damn.
And he was like, they would call me like at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. I would pick up and be like, hey, be at the airport in 40, be at McKinley Airport in 45 minutes, and to fly out. Okay,
Damn.
and like he would go at like 11 at midnight. He would go for like a week or so, and then come back, or like a couple of days, and then come back, and then like they would let him know when he was gonna get called again. So they were just so random. They didn't have a yeah. It was just so secretive. But yeah,
What the
like,
hell?
everything that he was saying, like they had another guy that he kind of like recorded a lot of the things. He was obsessed with it, and he got to find a lot of files and everything, and they kind of confirmed a lot of the shit that was kind of confirmed later on that he was saying way back then. But it's super crazy and super in depth
Man, that's really crazy to think.
that we have actual like beings, like species or civilizations amongst us.
So there definitely is. I mean, there definitely is shit out
Oh
there,
yeah, there's
but
no doubt, dude.
it just makes me wonder. How much of it do they really know? Like, what do they know? I mean, I know they know for sure some like shit that we don't, but how far out could it really be? It could be way up on like upon our thinking. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You don't really
and that's
realize.
what a lot of it. Whoa, don't take them off. It's a whole different vibe.
For real.
Keep them on.
Damn, it'd be really cool too. I was kind of thinking about it, like,
What? Bring it a little bit closer.
so this is like a mobile setup, You were telling me how you don't even really have to take it, anything and plug
No,
it in, like,
yeah, because the batteries I can just take it
and
anywhere.
that goes as well for these,
Yeah,
right?
I can move them.
And you'll still be able to wear the headphones. And
Yeah, because everything's powered through this baby.
wow, now that's really impressive.
Yeah, so that's one thing I was looking into when I was getting this set up.
Um, it'd be kind of a cool thing to do, which we
Huh.
could eventually do. Maybe bring it over to the house. We'll have like I guess kind of like a podcast, but like a without the video, we could do like a voiceover and just chill outside. We can hop in the hot tub, have some wine, whatever, chill, have like we could do like I guess it would just be a podcast without the video, you know what I mean? Or the video, I mean, fuck it, we could put that up too.
Huh.
But it'd just be kind of cool, like just chill, like, maybe have a little something to smoke, have a little drink,
Huh. Yeah.
'Cause this thing's pretty cool, you just
Mm-hmm.
just mount it on like a piece or whatever, like wood, whatever, a
Yeah.
table.
Yeah, we could try something like that. I'd be open to it, and that's something I never thought about. Because
Like
what I was thinking, I
I'm a
wanted to do it like over here by the woods near the creek. I want to build me a setup at some point and kind of
It
do it
wouldn't be
there.
hard, even if you just started out with,
I mean, yeah,
getting
like,
a couple 2x4s nailed straight, so
Mhm.
somewhere you're gonna be able to clip onto this. Somewhere like maybe just to, like even a couple pallets.
that's
Set
exactly
it
what I was
down,
thinking.
make like a square somewhere to
base.
stand. Yep, throw like just make something up. Even
Mhm.
just use your mind.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Have like start off with something like a bone and kind of bone structure and kind of basic stuff, and then go off of that.
Look at what your dad did. I mean, he did some
Yeah,
cool shit.
exactly. That so seeing that that always inspires me because like I can kind of build me like a little tree house back out in the woods, and like
Uh-huh.
I want to do something kind of like that and have like,
Tree houses are pretty cool though too. Like a hidden one, or
yeah,
even like
that'd be cool.
what I always thought would be really cool,
Huh.
a bunker.
Yeah, that
Now
would be
a
cool.
bunker, man. I'm telling you what, that bitch will be so cool to make yourself.
Dang, that'd be challenging, but it would be so fucking cool and worth it too. if
Oh,
you were
dude,
to.
wait. I'm gonna have you come out to my bunker when I build it.
That's cool. I actually fun to talk about bunkers. I always watch some of the videos. There was one that I watched. This people, they did a bunker in the backyard.
Uh-huh.
So they had all this. They came and dug out some. I think it was 20 feet. I can't remember how much it was. It was
Holy
kind of like a
shit.
basement type of thing, and then they built something like that. And then like at the end, they kind of sealed like a roof, and then they came down with the cement and shit. And, like they put cement down, and then they put like a top layer, and they put, like had grass back up again. So you couldn't you couldn't tell, but they had their own fucking bunker underneath there.
Damn.
It was crazy, but it was so cool.
You think they were? I mean, were they in town or where were they at?
No, I think it was more like on the like outskirts
Outside,
of town.
oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, because they'll be in town. That'd be kind of.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be kind of hard to do. I'd say, but man, that's pretty deep too. If they went down 20 feet.
I don't know if it was 15. It was 10 to 20 feet. I thought 20 feet, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly what. But
As I say, that's a lot to dig. But
yeah,
hey.
oh no, absolutely. So but I don't know. But I just know the concept was was done. So that was really cool.
Yeah, see, I used to watch a lot of videos about that stuff. So I think that'd be really nice to do. Have like your, even if you just make it like your getaway or like some shit like to go hang out at or
Yeah. That's what I love. Like basements.
worst case scenario, like that thing got your ass. You know what I mean? You go down there, ain't nobody gonna find you.
That's true too.
Stockpile that bitch up. I mean, shit, you'd be good for a while at least.
There's a lot of bunkers now, like actual bunkers people use.
Oh yeah. A lot of the military works underground.
Yeah.
There's more military underground than there is above ground.
Is that so?
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it, dude. I was talking to a guy about a couple of the Air Force bases. He was saying, he was showing me the one, and he said, this one here, he's like, there was some stuff up on top of ground, not a whole lot, but he said this whole area here, he was saying, like this big massive part of the land. He said, most of their operations are about over here. I said, what do you mean? He said, oh yeah, they're underground. I said, really? He's like, yep, quite a bit underground. And I was like, wow, that's really surprising.
Huh.
Yeah, everybody's going underground.
Damn. Can you imagine? I mean, because they have like bunkers stuff like that where people work on the ground for years too, or not necessarily years, but they're down there for a long time. That when they come up, it's like whoa, like it feels a whole different feeling for
real?
them. Yeah, because of like the pressure and everything working on the ground.
Oh man, like over in
temperature.
like another country, man. Not
Ah.
probably not here, right?
I don't know where.
Probably like around the border and
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe shit.
I was gonna say maybe some illegal underground type of shit, bringing shit across. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure it's more like government type of things.
For real, they have
Maybe,
government
yeah.
jobs like.
Or some type. I don't know if it's like military or what. We'll have to look into that too. Jamie, pull that up. That'd be so. That's
Look up some shit for us real quick.
Next time, for my next show, I'm definitely gonna have my computer here. I gotta find longer wires. That way I can kind of like tuck them underneath here, kind of hide them, because I can open this and move it, so I can kind of hide them somehow.
Now, do you have to have it hooked up, or can you just run it off the battery?
No, I don't have to have my computer hooked up, but to kind of have it on the screen, I was thinking. Or actually, no. Well, I have that table. I thought about putting it here and just pulling it up too. That'd be easier actually.
You could either do that or put like a little table right in front of you and
right there. Pull it up.
That way, it's kind of in front of you. You know, you can have that. I mean, something in front.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Oh, not too bad, to be honest with you. I'm feeling like we pop up on a B here maybe in a minute.
Yeah. So like, I feel like that was a pretty like first, good kind of class, because I think it's been for I don't know how long. Let me see.
How long we been going for?
45 minutes.
That's not too bad, to be honest.
No, that's a solid
pretty,
kind of first one.
Yeah, pretty good time, and I think a lot of people would rather stick to a shorter video. Just try to like get to know us.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Once
get an idea.
Yeah, once they start to grow, like into the channel,
Especially since I'm just starting out too. So like I guess this could kind of be like you said, kind of like an intro to that person. Now that you say that, that might be like a little.
Because you never know. You're never gonna know like
for the first 10 episodes.
What really works for you until you're doing it. Like, all right, that's not the best, but this is a little bit better. And as you keep doing it, you're gonna progress, and people are really gonna like that, and they're gonna comment. People are gonna tell you what they think. You know what I mean? So you take those into a little bit of consideration, but I guess always do what you want still at the end of the day.
And I'm excited about like what I want to do with these two. I want to like do clips. I know
that's cool. Like you can hear it. Like I tap it. Like any little tap. Like that's crazy.
So I kind of want to like take short clips of this. I kind of like cut out certain like topics. If we kind of divide the topics, for the editing. And then kind of like do little clips. That way kind of people can see like, oh, certain topics. Oh, yeah, let me click on the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
That's what Joe Rogan kind of does too. Like JR clips, and it shows you like.
So these people are at least gonna snip through it. They're gonna get most of it, and they might even watch another one after that.
Yeah, and but have put options of like they want to watch the whole thing, get everything, or only want to get certain topics, and that'll kind of be nice. And that way I can see the numbers. Okay, this kind of does more than this, and you still do both, but not to push more certain this or more of the other stuff. But I think that was a solid first one. So that was a solid first one. So now we can hop on to the beats.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. Let's pop it up. I want to see this shit.
All right. Catch you guys on the next one.
Peace out. Different vibe for sure without the headphones.